Well, the New South Wales Ombudsman has called for stricter guidelines governing the use of tasers following the death of a man in Sydney early this morning. It's the second critical incident involving New South Wales Police in as many days. And in Western Australia, the release of shocking video footage of a man being tasered repeatedly by police in 2008 has added to calls for a review. Michael Edwards reports.
Frantic efforts by paramedics couldn't save the man. His heart stopped when he was tasered by police after they were called to an apartment in Sydney's west just after midnight this morning.
And they came racing through the back and they tackled the man in the driveway at the back, and and there's a bit of scuffling and stuff, and the dog was there. And then the ambulance came because I guess the man was unconscious.
I mean, I've never heard a guy scream like that, and I don't think it's a good thing.
The man is believed to have been in his 20s. Police were called to the scene after responding to a report that a woman was being sexually assaulted. Police say the man was armed with 2 knives at the time and appeared to be heavily affected by alcohol. They say the man fell to the ground after being hit by the taser, and then he lost consciousness when he was handcuffed. New South Wales Police have defended the use of the taser. The Police Commissioner, Andrew Scipione, says the officers made a choice which could have saved their own lives.
The taser camera footage has been reviewed, and that footage supports that view. As for the cause of the death, well, that's a matter that we're going to have to leave to the coroner.
It's the second fatal incident involving New South Wales Police over the past few days, and both will be subject to a critical incident investigation. 35-year-old Stephen Basevsky died after being subdued by police during Rugby League Grand Final celebrations. Police also used a taser when they tried to restrain his brother. The New South Wales Premier has rejected a call from the Greens for an independent inquiry into tasers.
Let's allow these investigations to take their course. Let's allow the facts of this situation to be put before us before we rush to judgment on what the next step should be.
But the use of the taser has been questioned elsewhere in the country. In Western Australia, police have been criticised by both civil liberties groups and the government for an incident where an Aboriginal man was tasered 13 times at a Perth watch house in 2008. Footage of the incident has been released by the state's Crime and Corruption Commission, and it sparked nationwide outrage. The WA government has called for a review into taser use.
It was excessive use of a taser which could not be justified.
If you were to put uniforms on these police officers which were army uniforms and someone was from a different side in the war, that sort of thing would be seen as being torture and sent off to a war crimes panel to look at it. And I think that's a way that we've got to look at it.
In New South Wales, tasers were introduced in 2009 after a series of trials. Around 2,000 devices were rolled out across the state. The version used by police there shoots out 50,000 volts of electricity and is supposed to be used in extreme situations, such as when the well-being of an officer is at risk. Tasers are supposed to provide a safer alternative to the use of firearms.
The use of tasers is up. The use of firearms is up. The use of tasers is up. What tasers don't appear to be achieving is a reduction in the use of firearms.
As the New South Wales Ombudsman, it's Bruce Barber's job to investigate police procedure when it comes to the use of devices such as tasers. He says he's increasingly concerned that tasers are being misused.
And we're certainly seeing cases here where the circumstances are very grey, where it's unclear and it's not readily clear why police have used tasers.
The recent death is the 4th taser-related fatality in Australia since 2002. According to guidelines issued by the manufacturer of tasers, police should avoid hitting people in the chest and instead target major muscle groups such as the back.
Avoid, if you can, firing the chest region, because the better target zones are those large muscle groups. And in some cases, people have deployed, police officers have deployed darts into the chest area. At some stage, hours or days later, people have died.
New South Wales Police have confirmed the man was hit in the chest. The New South Wales Ombudsman is considering a full review into the use of tasers.
Now that they're being rolled out and they're being used by frontline officers, it may be timely for us to do a further review to see how they're being used, to see whether or not they're being used in appropriate circumstances and whether the safeguards are adequate.
Michael Edwards, Lateline.